Are you searching for a quick and easy chicken recipe?
Always.
Always, right?
Always.
There's never enough chicken recipes in the world.
Or we just don't know where they are. But now we found one with Chad Flazinski. He's from Taylor's Tavern. He's going to show us how to make rosemary and thyme baked chicken.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi, Chad.
And the color thing, it's definitely green.
You going for green?
Yeah.
I'm going for the whatever this is. Yellow, mauve, perhaps?
Yellow, mauve.
Mauve?
Who's to know what it's going to be?
It's like
I
mustard.
couldn't even tell you what that is.
Okay.
So we're making chicken today.
Yeah, so a lot of the times when you do baked chicken, a lot of people use thighs because they have a little more flavor and they got a little more fat. Well, I decided to go with skin-on chicken breast. Gives a little bit of the healthier because it's got chicken, and it still leaves you with a little bit of the fat to have a little flavor in here. And so to give it a little kick, we're gonna dress it up with a little rosemary and thyme and some garlic. And so I have some already pre-done. And I'm gonna lift the flap of the skin up and drape it on there pretty heavy.
And you know what's nice about what you're doing? A lot of times when people want to add flavor, they'll add butter, they'll add oil, they'll add this bad stuff. You're just adding herbs, which are beneficial.
Just adding some herbs. And so now that I've made that a mess with my rosemary and thyme, I am gonna punch out a little bit of garlic for you guys.
Now punch it. Oh, that's easier than I thought it would be.
Just smash them out a little bit. Yeah, it's my favorite, as you can tell. And
so,
you're
still gonna chop it even after you've smashed it.
Yeah, and so when I chop it, it's kind of like slicing it one way, if you will. It tends to break it down into little grooves, and so you end up with a very quick dice. And
All right, so Chad, you have this is the chicken with the skin on. What if I just got boneless breast because I don't like the skin? Can I still make this without?
You can. You have to
it?
take a little more care in it. What I would do is I would draw slits lengthwise down the chicken breast, just about a quarter of the inch in, and then I would put all my fixings in those slits.
Oh, so
and
you want to
try
make sure
and
you
kind of
stuff it.
press it back together.
Right, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's almost stuffed. So I'm going to put this in here for
Okay.
now.
Did you grease this before you put that? You don't need to.
I did not, because the fat will run from the oil, which we're going to put on the potatoes and the beets. I'm going back to the one-pot cooking deal.
Yeah, if you
that's
hate cleaning,
perfect.
because I do, this is the recipe for you, because one pot, that's it. And the cutting board, I guess.
And the cutting board.
2 items you have to clean.
Pretty close. And you'll have to clean your plates.
That's true.
But most people already
Unless
clean those right up.
Paper plates.
And so the potatoes I'm just cutting into about 1-inch dice, and that'll give them a little body and make sure that they don't get too mushy in the oven. And so I'm going to add those into a bowl. Actually, if you want to add a little oil and maybe some of this thyme and rosemary mixture to that, that would be great.
Oh, sure. This is your oil here?
Yes, ma'am, and that's olive oil. And you can use blended oil if you'd like. I just prefer the taste of olive oil.
I love that you're putting this all in one pot, or this is actually a Pyrex dish. But I love that, because whenever I make potatoes and all this chicken and stuff, I always do it all separately. So
yeah, it's nice to do it this way. It's a little bit of a time saver. It's nice when everything comes out exactly at the same time, which is another thing about how thick you cut your potatoes. If I were to cut them really small and dice them down tiny, they would obviously only take a couple minutes to cook. So the idea is to make sure your potatoes are big enough that they hold up the time of the chicken cooking.
Right. Oh,
so I'm going to
that's a good
set those right in here. And then I've also brought some beets with me today. And now the beets, everybody thinks they're kind of a mission. I actually learned working out in Plymouth for a chef who had a very easy way to do them. He takes them, he dumps them all into water, he boils them off, and when they come out, he puts them in a stainless steel bowl or in a glass bowl and saran wraps them and lets them get so cool. And then the peels just come right off.
A minute.
And you don't even have to really work at it that much. Sometimes I do have a towel, just in case, to kind of make sure that I get all the skin off of there. But once that's all done,
what a great
then
trick.
you just have to slice them, and they're just like your canned beets that you would get at the store.
Wow, I've always been intimidated
I'm
by
sure
beets.
a whole lot cheaper.
A whole lot cheaper and probably a whole lot less salt in them.
Yeah, definitely less salt, less vinegar, and you can dress them any way you want. And so because we're going really simple today with our chicken and our roasted potatoes and whatnot, I've decided to do the same exact thing with the beets that usually people are intimidated with, and there's something that can be done very easily if you take enough time. So
That was easy, my goodness.
So this is pretty much it. Then we just pop it in the oven for a while?
this is pretty much it, and we're going to pop it in the oven, and when we come back, I'm sure we'll show how great it really is.
Love
I know
it.
you
when
guys
we
like to
try
eat.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Same.
I can't wait.
Well, let's
Thank you,
get moving,
Chad.
'cause
We'll
I
be
didn't
back
eat
with you.
breakfast. Hey, coming up. Welcome back to Mass Appeal, and we're back with Chad Flazinski from Taylor's Tavern. We're finishing up a healthy chicken dinner.
Healthy chicken dinner it is. So I'm going to pull that out of the oven. When I pull that out of the oven, why don't you drop the kale into the top of that double boiler there?
Yes, you open it.
It's hot. I checked first because I didn't
There we
want to
go.
burn myself.
Stand by
so
your
this
pan.
is all in one one dish, the whole meal.
Oh, that looks good. See the skin? You don't even have to eat the chicken skin, but it just looks good, and I bet it kept a lot of moisture in the chicken.
Yeah, it's nice and moist in there. I don't know if you can see any of that.
Oh.
But I'm gonna set one here and one here. And Seth, if you want to maybe pile on some potatoes.
I would love to. I'll dollop potatoes
I'll grab
while
a few
you...
beets.
Oh, this looks great.
And the beets, to steam them, all that you did was put them in some boiling water,
There you
right?
go.
Or to boil them, and then
Yeah.
you put them in a
Yeah.
glass bowl with some saran wrap. They're so much easier to cook than I thought.
Yeah, not tough at all, actually. They a lot of people don't seem to realize how quickly they can be done.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna set this here as a little garnish in there.
Oh, see, garnish is key, too. That's the way you make a good meal look great.
Can you eat that?
You
Kale?
can eat kale. Kale is something that actually at the restaurant we do kale here and there on vegetable and treat it kind of like a shaved Brussels sprout, if you will, is kind of how we treat it.
I'm a big fan of kale. I just, you know how when it's used as a garnish, you're not sure if it's meant just to be a garnish or if it's actually there to be
Originally, garnishes were something that was in the meal itself. You never garnished a plate unless it was something in the meal, and it was used as either a palate cleanser or a finisher for the meal that they
Really?
made. So that's where it ends up.
Now, these are two good-looking plates. So once again, it's chicken that you infused with rosemary and thyme.
Rosemary, thyme, and a little garlic.
Okay.
And olive oil and salt and pepper on top of the breast and in the oven. And I used the same spices in the potatoes that I did, and I put those in the same pan as well. And I used a different pan for the beets only because I didn't have enough room left in the pan that I was using, so I used the second pot.
Now, Chad, obviously for TV purposes, we always are kind of like, thyme isn't on our side, but not the herb, the actual, thyme.
Thyme.
If I wanted to make the potatoes nice and brown and crispy, how would I achieve that?
I would probably put them in a separate pan and let them run about another 10 to 15 minutes longer.
Okay.
Is what I would do for something like that.
And what
so.
temperature? Would you crank it up to a higher temperature? Or
I usually cook everything on about 400. I find that that's really a golden temperature for the oven. Things tend to brown a little bit better. They do cook a little quicker, which in the day of rush, it seems to be a little bit better. But if you're keeping an eye on things, definitely 400, 425, 450 if you're feeling spry and a little feisty, feel free.
I think I'm in a 450 mood today.
A 450 mood?
Chad, this looks
Feeling
incredible.
feisty.
Can I wish a happy birthday to somebody?
Wish a happy birthday to someone.
Doug Fontaine, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Doug.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, if you want to, hey Doug, by the way, if you want a copy of this recipe and so many more recipes, all you have to do is head to our website, mymassappeal.com later today.
Up next.